Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be talking about how there should always be a limit to your help, and when the help is no longer genuine and it becomes a sacrifice, those are signs when it's time to stop. So sometimes you could be connected to people and you will be more of a benefit to them than they are to you in any way that may come across. And specifically in this situation, I'm thinking about my brother, my younger brother to be exact, and I kind of always had like a motherly role when it came to him. So our relationship was never really like brother and sister. Our sibling bond kind of ended when we were, or at least when I was a teenager. And then I kind of shifted to like a motherly role, right? And that's just been how things have been ever since. So when he hits a roadblock where he is short on something or whatever he may need, almost every single need I was providing, right? And then it got to a point where I started to realize that no matter what I did, my brother was still ending up in the same exact situation. And with him, he's been dealing with incarceration. There's a spirit that's been attached to him that he just cannot seem to break. And this has been going on for so long that I don't even know him outside of him being incarcerated. Anytime I even think about him and I reflect on our relationship, I have to think back to 20 plus years ago when we were kids. You know what I mean? In terms of my adult life, I don't know him. I know of him, and that part, it actually makes me sad even saying it out loud, because I have these thoughts, but it's a lot of things that I do not share with people. So yeah, I don't have a relationship with him. He does not know his nieces and nephews. Now that I have 4 children, there's one, my last one, he's never met. My third baby, I think he met her once or twice. He did meet her once, maybe twice. And then my older kids, he's seen them periodically a couple of times throughout their lives. But truthfully, he doesn't know my kids. And, the reason of me helping him is because I felt like I took on that motherly role, because we were cut from the same cloth. We do not have a mom, right? So with me being older, I'm like, okay, well, I don't have the guidance, but whatever guidance I do figure out from God or whoever else, I'm also going to guide him, because I felt like my brother needed more help than I did. Even though we came from the same cloth, same background, I just felt like he was younger and he wasn't going to be able to handle the impact and the trauma that we was going through as well as I was. So I kind of was not concerned about myself. I was only focused on how can I help him? How can I be an assist to him, help him, build him? So this went on for all of our lives, right? And as we got older, even with me having children, I'm still there for him. If whatever he needed, whether he was locked up or he was not locked up, Monica was there. And anybody that knows me personally knows this. If you don't know anything else about me, you know my brother and Florida. And my grandma. Those probably the main 3 things people know about me. And I started to realize that he was taking advantage. And that's exactly what happens when people are receiving so much help to the point where they know if they hit a roadblock, they can come to you. Whatever the situation is, when they know they have a go-to person, they're not really going to be trying to change, and they know that they always have a backup plan. Well, I had to, pull the rug from underneath his feet and let him know that I'm not the backup plan anymore. Why? Because it got to a point where I was enabling him. My help is not enough for him. At this point, I have to turn him over to the Lord. And I'm learning through other people, I guess, different things of how I may have to act when my children become adults, because it gets to a point where there's nothing that you can do. You have to, what they say, give them tough love. You know what I mean? That, like, I literally cannot do anything to help him. And if there was something that I could have done that could have helped my brother get on the right path and to stay out of jail, then he would be there now. But no matter how many times I have put money on his books, I have bought him clothes, I have bought him shoes, I have been a listening ear, I have poured into him spiritually, emotionally, giving him a place to stay. Like, no matter what I have done, I've always ended up at the same roadblock, because this is bigger than me. And I realize that now. And I pray that my children do not fall victim to this same cycle of trauma that my bloodline has experienced, which my children so far have been on a whole different path than myself and other people. So, I'm just very hopeful. But there's so much trauma in my bloodline. There's so much, so many curses, man. So many. And I know like there's a lot that I overcame, but there's some things that I have not been able to overcome. That's a whole nother video. But yes, back to what I was saying. The main topic is like, when you are helping somebody and it starts to become a sacrifice, it's no longer help. So what I mean by that is like, me helping my brother is now taking bill money out of my household, because I am now in a situation where I am on like a fixed budget. I have to be very mindful of my resources. I also have 4 children. I have 2 children and diapers. And I'm saying all of this to say like, I don't have disposable income like I used to, whereas I was so able to be there for my brother. Now I have to think about myself first, my children first. And that put me in a position where I can't just be so generous. I don't have it. And it's a good and a bad thing, because like I said, I started getting to the point where I was feeling like I was being used. My brother would definitely have money and still reach out to me and ask me for money. He would have resources and still want me to provide. And my stupid behind was doing it to a certain extent. But I had to realize, the help that you need is something I can't provide for you. You need something deeper than me. You need something more than I'm able to give. And the honest help that you need is Jesus Christ, truthfully. But my brother is a Muslim, and I'm going to use my words very carefully, because I don't want to disrespect anybody. That's not my intentions. I'm just speaking from my heart, and just speaking, I guess, from a place of what I believe to be true. So with my brother and him being Muslim, he was the type of person who found his religion when he was incarcerated, right? And we grew up Christian, but once he went to jail, he became Muslim. And I do have my personal feelings about that. I kind of feel like it's not real. It was more like a protection thing. And I only say that because there's a difference between just you saying the words, oh, I'm Muslim, versus practicing the Muslim religion. You're not reading the Quran. You're not praying 5 times a day. You're not fasting. I don't hear you talk about Ramadan. Like, there's so many core values that I know that Muslims stand by. And my brother never mentions it. He never talks about it. It's like when it comes to the Muslim religion, he only just says, oh, I'm Muslim. I don't eat pork. Well, what about everything else? He doesn't even own a Quran. And he's been incarcerated. I'm not even going to get into that point, but he's been incarcerated for a long time. So it's like, how do you not own a Quran? And look at God. My power just came back on. Clock that. It's only been 2.5 hours. That's so off topic, but yeah, I've been out of power for a couple of hours because they was working on something. But yeah, if you do not have any spiritual protection, you are open, you're exposed, and the devil will have his way with you. It's not so much of me trying to convert his religion. I just know that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. And there is no true peace. There's no true freedom. There's no eternity. There's nothing without Jesus. But the devil is busy. When I tell you, it's like distractions, interruptions, nonstop. Like, my phone just keep doing its thing. And I'm just going to end this video here. Like I was saying before, I think it cut off. I hope this part is in there. You got to be spiritually connected and protected, because if not, you're exposed and the devil will have his way. Again, once you help someone, and that's fine, but the moment it no longer is help anymore and it is starting to become a sacrifice to you, that's when you know the help is no longer needed, and this person needs help that you're not able to provide. I'll see y'all later.